Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting, and I've started filming, so cue the sun going in, which is what always happens when I start filming. I'm trying to film more in the day than in the evening, and you can always bet your life the sun goes in. Anyway, it's Share It on a Sunday, and this is where myself, Karen from Crafty Karen Designs, and Victoria from Vicky Lou Designs, we get together and we challenge ourselves each week. And this week's challenge was to be inspired by one another. So it was my turn to case Karen. Karen is casing Victoria, and Victoria is casing me. I think that's what we're doing. So go and check out their blogs. I've left some links to their blogs in my blog, and there is a link to my blog in the description bar below. So please go and check those out and see what they've been doing as well. So I picked this from Karen's YouTube. She does a series every Friday, Funfold Friday, and I picked this out. This is not really a fold, it's more of a bend, if that makes, you'll see why when I start putting this together. Karen's is much bigger. Karen's is 6x6. Mine is slightly smaller than that. So I want to show you how I've put that together. I've used the Best Dressed DSP, and I've started off with a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 8¼ by 5 7/8. So that's just a piece of UK A4 Whisper White cardstock sliced down the middle at 5 7/8. And then I've taken a piece of the Best Dressed DSP, and that measures 4 inches by 5 3/4. This piece of Whisper White cardstock is scored down the long side at 4 1/8. So that is 4 inches, this DSP, 4 inches by 5 3/4. And then it was just a case of putting together some coordinating designer series paper, really. So I've taken this was on the back of another very beautiful floral piece, but I just love the green in it. I like how it goes with that. And we're going to make the middle part of the bow out of this. This measures 1½ inches by 5 1/4. And I think I'm going to keep it that size. I don't think I need to trim it down. And I've got the triple banner punch for this. So let's just put that to one side. I've stuck that piece of DSP to that, so I don't need to glue that on. And I'm just going to slide that in there and punch. Slide that in there and the other end and punch. And so we're left with that. It takes off a fair amount of the DSP. That's why I didn't want to trim it down. And then what I'm going to do, but not yet, is then stick that. It does overlap a little bit, but that should be fine because it does on that one as well. And this is a card that you would actually make a box for. And I promise I will do a box project for this within the week. So if it's Sunday today, hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday, I would have done a box to go with this. So if you subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to my blog, you're not going to miss it. You'll get a notification of it. So I'm not going to stick that down. I am going to stick that down now. I don't know why I thought I wouldn't. So just with some liquid glue or tear and tape or snail, whatever you like, just your adhesive of choice. I've just got a bit of glue in the middle and just eyeball that in the middle of that card front. I haven't folded this card yet, just because I want it to lay flat. Now, what you'll need are 8 ovals of DSP. You need 4 in one design and 4 in another design. And I've die cut these using the Stitched Shapes dies. And this is what they look like. You've got circles, you've got ovals, and you've got squares. 4 of each, different sizes. And these are my most used dies. I'm not one for intricate dies, although I've just done a pre-order for the new catalogue and I've ordered some dies just because I want to step out of my comfort zone. So 4, this is the second biggest, that's the second smallest. So there are 4 in each shape. So this is the second biggest, second smallest. So you need 4 each of those. And then also out of the second smallest, I've cut some more of that green, die cut some more of that green. So that's the second smallest oval. And out of the smallest oval, I've just taken a piece of Whisper White. It's too small to put a sentiment on there. But what I am going to do is just punch some butterflies and put that on there, just like I have here. If you were to make the card landscape, then you could probably put a sentiment on there. Up to you. There's no set way of doing that. So what you're going to do with each of these is turn them over and then put, now I found that tear and tape did this best, and I've put my tear and tape down, there it is. And just a tiny piece on the end. I just made the camera wobble because my desk is wobbling. My camera is attached to my desk. And if you've watched my previous videos, you knew I lost this, and I've just found it because I've had a bit of a sort out. Just release the paper off of there. And you're going to do this with each pair of these. So you're not folding, you're bending. So just bend that over and make the 2 ends match, and just where that glue is, just pinch it. So I've used tear and tape there just for speed, so you're not going to sit and watch me get it to stick, but you could use wet glue for that, absolutely fine. And do the same with the smaller one. Just fold that over, or bend it, don't fold it. And then what I do, just to make them stick up a little bit, I just give them a little push with my thumb like that. Just give that a little bit of a push, and it just like opens it up. Then either side, it doesn't matter, just at the bottom of this one, another piece of tear and tape or some sort of glue. Take that off, and then what you're going to do, there's one, your bigger one, there's your smaller one, and then just stick that on the end, just there. So what you have then are 4 of those. So there's one. Now I don't know why I didn't stick these on here, because it would have saved a whole lot of time. So just going to stick that, so it won't take long though, because I've used tear and tape for all of these. Now, whatever colourway you use is entirely up to you. Really doesn't matter. You could make something that's, very floral, or it could be something very, could be something that's more abstract. Depends who you're giving it to, I suppose. And then finally, that one on there. So now we have 4 of those. And then what I've done on the back of these is then put a piece of tear and tape on the back of those, ready for us to put this card together. But I just need to do that on this one. Which I should have done before I stuck that other bit. So that's that, all ready to go. So let's get this back. Now what we're going to do, and arrange them first, you are going to have, so these are the main parts of the bow, and you're just going to arrange them like that. And I think you need them just touching, and then what's going to happen is that we are going to sit that in there like that. So think about where they are, and then just take it's stuck, just take one off at a time. So just check where it is and take one off at a time. So just releasing that tape like that, and then putting it back roughly where it was, sticking it down. good to get it all prepped beforehand, and then it doesn't feel such a bind putting it all together. So there are the loops of our bow. So the next thing I'm going to do is just put that to one side a second. So now I've got my green that matches my tails of my bow, and then just got some white here. It doesn't have to be white, it's really whatever you want to pick out. It's just I just went for white because it was the background of the rest of the card. So I've mounted these each with mini dimensionals just to give some height, because we've got lots of height here. The inside of the bow needed that as well, I thought. So I'm just going to put that on there like that. I will decorate that bit in a minute. And then just take the backing off of those. Come on, off you come. So with this, I'm just going to just hover it roughly where it's going to be. So my sticky bits are in the middle bit. It wasn't going to work with having my sticky bits at the top and the bottom of this green bit. It had to be either side. So I'm just going to hold that there, and then I want to get, oh, it's a little bit tricky, this bit. Get it in place. Right, I'm going to have words with it in a minute. That's it, stick it down. And there we go, you've got your oval in there, and I've actually got that level. So the next thing I want to do is I just want to put my butterflies in here. So I'm going to use today the Butterfly Gala stamp set. So happy that this is carrying over. I love it. And I'm going to stamp those in Lovely Lipstick. This here is Lovely Lipstick, and we are about to lose this. This was one of the 2018-20 in colours, and it's going to go, and it's sad, really sad, because it's just such a lovely colour. It's kind of not red and it's not pink. So I got one of the butterflies from the Butterfly Gala stamp set, just the smaller. Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? Let's load that up with ink again. And I'm just going to punch those two out with my Butterfly Duet punch. Love this punch, it's lovely. Big butterflies, little butterflies. And then they fly, and you've got to find them. Okay, let's put that to one side. And I'm just going to, the only thing with Lovely Lipstick, I find myself completely covered in it every time I use it. So I'm just quickly going to find a cloth to get that ink off that block. And then I'm going to use one of the sentiments also from the Butterfly Gala stamp set. And it's this one, You've Been on My Mind. And I just thought it was really apt for the situation that we're in at the moment. It's not great, is it? And I'm looking for my scrap of the green, which I've got here somewhere that I put to one side. There it is. Don't know if that's going to be big enough. Yeah, it is. So I want this. I've literally just taken a bit of scrap of it. This is all I've got left of it. And this needs to be, what does it need to be? 5/8 of an inch. I need to check my measurement of that. I'm not absolutely sure. Yeah, I'm going to go 5/8 of an inch. Just had to go and check that. It's actually 3/4 of an inch. So 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to do that by 3 inches, I think. That will do it. Yeah. 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches, and then a piece of Whisper White that measures 2 7/8 by 5/8. So what that does, what that does is that then just sits in there like that with a border around it. So before I stick that together, so I've got the You've Been on My Mind, which is a bit wibbly. The You've Been on My Mind. I didn't stick my butterflies to my card. I'll sort that out in a second. You've Been on My Mind sentiment. Just ink that up in lovely lipstick and then get that central, which I'm trying not to get my head over this. And hopefully I've got that central. If not, I'm going to be having another go at that. Ooh, it could be better. It could be better. But when I'm filming, I can't get my head over it, which is a bit frustrating. So just with a few dimensionals. Why is it when I'm crafting, I put these things down and then I can't see them? Where have they gone? They were under my dies. Anyway, with 3 of those, one in the middle, one at either end, just going to mount that onto that green piece of paper. Again, I can't get my head over it to make sure that it's central. But the other thing that I'm going to do while I'm here, and I've got this in front of me, I've got some Rhinestone Basic Jewels with crinkly paper, and I'm just going to put one of these at the end of each end of this white cardstock, just to bling it up a little bit. And then also using dimensionals, to take the backing off of those and onto the bottom of my card. And then finally our butterflies. So you're just going to just push into the middle, just so it gives them some movement, really, I think. I love how that deep pink is contrasting against the green. I love that. And I'm going to get a dimensional for that as well. Stick on the back of your butterfly and pop onto the middle of your card. And I was going to try and get a video in under 20 minutes. I'm now 19 minutes 10 seconds. So that just gives me time to get a rhinestone on there. 30 seconds to get the last one on, and then to fold this card in half. And there we go. That's my version of Karen's Fun Fold Friday bow card. I hope you like it. I hope it inspires you to have a go. It's really quite easy. It's just some card bending, and I'll be back again soon with another project. See you then. Bye bye.